This is Dispatches from Myrtle Beach with Charles Neal and my son Link from Good Mythical Morning.
What's
How you
up?
doing, Link?
I'm doing good,
Look.
Dad.
Boy, you got the sign looking good there. I'm telling
Well,
you.
I realize that I have a backdrop too, but it's not in the shot. Like I've got it's the name of the show and everything, but it's in a shot we don't use, so it's still not as good as your backdrop. Man, you look like the sun's going down. Give me a dispatch. Let me have it, Dad. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Well, it's been hot here and humid. And,
How hot we talking about?
well, it's in the 90s, but the heat index is about 106 with the humidity and everything. So it's hot. Monday, they said the temperature in the ocean, the water in the ocean where you can go swimming, it was 86.
What? 86. I mean,
That's warmer than that's like getting in the bathtub.
definitely. I mean, especially if you're the second kid in the bathtub. Did you, you know what I'm saying? Did you,
Yeah.
growing up, did you have to take turns in the same bath water?
Yeah, with me and Tacey. Yeah, sometimes.
So she would take who would be first? Were you like trying to get there first?
Her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, most of the time it was her.
Okay.
Then
So you would take over.
later on, when Mom and Daddy built the house, we had a shower then. You didn't have to just get in a bathtub. So,
Oh,
you
wow.
could, ever who could in the late 60s. So
It was
pretty
kind of like,
neat.
it was kind of like getting your first color television. Do you remember the first time you took a shower? You took an indoor shower, Dad.
It had to have been sometime in 1967, the end of 1967. But no, I don't. But I almost I think 1960 was the first time we got a color TV.
And so you remember that. How old would you have been?
About 7.
What was that like? Were you mesmerized?
Well, where we used to go to church at night on Sunday night, Dr. P just lived right down the street from us, and because he just knew us, and he'd invite us over after church because he already had a color TV. So I had gotten to seen one before we ever got one at our house a year or so before that. But that was a pretty neat thing growing up about 6 years old and getting to watch a color TV.
That's hilarious. So you all went over to Dr. Pede's house just to watch TV in color for the first time.
And to watch Bonanza.
So Bonanza was, okay. I guess
Yeah.
I was about to ask a dumb question. Was it in color? Or was it a color television, but you were still watching a black and white show?
No, it was in color.
I know, it was
one
a
of the
dumb
first
question.
ones.
I'm sorry.
No, there ain't no question dumb. That's all right.
On this show?
Yeah.
That's true. Right. It was like that's the first rule, is that there's no dumb shaming. We can ask any question we want. If we don't understand the punchline of a joke or anything really, this is a safe zone to say, I don't know what you're talking about.
That would be correct for me more than you probably most of the time, but it is correct. I'm telling you. Yeah.
We're in this together.
Yeah.
What else is new?
Well, we've been still picking some string beans and putting them up. We had, I come in today from working and picked another half a 5-gallon bucket full. So that's going to probably put us close to about 60 quarts we've put up this year.
So 60 individual jars down there in your pantry with your golf cart.
That would be correct. Yeah.
So, and then how long do they keep?
Oh, they'll keep for 3 or 4 or 5 years because they're canned, and down there where it stays either cool or the heat's in there, they'll keep a long time.
Are you happy with the stoutness of your string beans this year?
Hey, I fertilized them again 2 weeks ago, and it's got little bitty string beans on them like this. So next week I'll have to pick them again. I'm trying to get we put 67 quarts up last year. I'm trying to see if I can get that many or more this year.
You competing with yourself.
And guess what I get to do tomorrow?
Pick more string beans. Nope.
Yes, but it's at your Nana's house.
Oh, so I was right. Oh, you got to drive up there?
I got to go up there, and me and Nancy's going up there, and I'm taking all my paraphernalia to can them with, and going up there and picking her some string beans and going to put them up.
You're like the Walter White of string beans.
I guess so.
What's your take on, you know how they prepare string beans over here on the West Coast? They don't cook them long enough.
Oh, well, when we were growing up, Nana and them always put some fat back and all that stuff in the string beans.
Fat back.
But we don't do that. We put a little bit of canola oil in them and some salt and pepper, and then a little dab of sugar, just a little bit, not even a teaspoonful, and put them in there and you have to let them cook for, even after you can them, for about 2 hours or so. Logan tickled me. Logan said, look at her. Logan tickled me and said, how do you give them string beans away? And I said, hell no, I don't give no string beans away.
What, you're stingy with your string beans?
Oh yeah, that's too hard of work to be giving. That's like giving away Nancy's turnip salad. She don't give none of that away. So I don't give none of these string beans. When people get to come to the house and get to eat them, that's when they get to eat some. But besides that, no, I don't give no string beans away.
All right. I won't ask then. Damn.
Well, I got a holler out to Clyde Chandler.
All right.
He says, I've been a big fan of Good Mythical Morning and Rhett and Link for a long time, and was so excited when this podcast came along. The father-son dynamic is fantastic, and I was scrolling through Instagram earlier and came across the video of a very cool popcorn sealing removal tool.
Okay.
Thought you would appreciate it, and it was posted by Clyde. I appreciate you posting this thing, and she's gonna pull it up for me and look at it. But I've used this thing before, so it's not anything new to me.
What in the world? It's a ceiling.
Got a vacuum on it.
It's like a ceiling buffer.
Oh yeah.
And it sucks it up?
Yeah,
so it eats the popcorn?
Thing. Yeah, it sands it off.
So you've tried one of these?
Oh yeah, I've used it.
Of course you have, Dad. Ain't nobody pulling no fast one on you. You know, Clyde's thinking he's going to slide in here with something you've never seen related to popcorn ceiling removal. He's got another thing coming, right?
Yeah, well, it's a pretty neat thing. And Sheridan Williams has got them where if you're a contractor, they'll just let you use it and take it out. You don't have to rent it or nothing.
Okay.
And I've tried them, and sometimes they work like that one was working there, and then sometimes they ain't worth a hill of beans.
Oh.
You have to get up there and do it by hand and wet it and get it scraped off. But it's a pretty neat machine.
So you don't even try it anymore, or you will still use it in certain applications?
I'm not taking. I retired from taking popcorn off of ceilings. I'm done with that.
Okay.
That's way
look at how angry you're getting right now.
Way too much work.
You're just seething. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry that that Clyde has put you in such a bad spot, Dad. It's like, we got to get you back to your happy place.
Yeah, well.
Dip in that 86-degree water.
Yeah, we'll run out there and
forget about the popcorn ceiling. So Clyde tried to school you, but it didn't work. But we do appreciate it, Clyde.
It's time for another edition of Myrtle Beach Mailbag. Well, I got some emails. You know, we get several once in a while. Several.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Melinda sent one, and it says, a pair of cows were talking in the field.
Okay.
One says, "Have you heard about the mad cow disease that's going around?" "Yeah," the other cow says. What do you think that other cow might have said?
Have you heard about the mad cow disease going around? Yeah. It's is it something about being angry? I'd be angry too if oh no. I don't know. Have you heard about the mad cow disease going around?
It says, "Makes me glad I'm a penguin."
What?
That's what I'm trying to figure.
Makes me glad
I'm a penguin.
A penguin?
That's what the cow said. It says, "Makes me glad I'm a penguin." He don't know it's a cow, I reckon.
That's it? Oh wow,
That's
that's what you call alternative comedy. Or there's a whole genre of comedy, Dad. That it's funny because it's not funny. I think the kids these days love it.
Okay.
Unless you're wrong about what makes that funny, I think that's my best guess as to how that could be funny.
Well, I'm going to have to agree with you because I didn't know why it was funny or not. But I mean, the poor old cow thought it was a penguin.
I like how you say that word. Say it again. The P word?
Penguin.
Penguin. Penguin.
Yeah. Penguin.
Penguin.
Yeah.
Penguin. I say penguin. Maybe maybe I'm saying it wrong. Is it penguin? P-I-N-G? I know it's not how you spell it, but that's how you spell the pronunciation. Penguin.
Penguin. Yes, a penguin.
Okay. I like how you say it better than how I say it.
Okay.
Penguin.
All right.
Penguins and polar bears.
Well, I got another email from Trevor Dunbar, and Trevor had a very interesting question. He said, "Greetings from Arkansas.
Hey, Trevor.
I need a good coleslaw recipe to make some of those chili dogs you like so much. Do you happen to have one?"
Yes, he does. He's asking the right man. Is he not?
He called the right place because me and Nancy can make some killer coleslaw. As a matter of fact, we made some for the 4th of July.
Oh, every 4th of July that I'm not there back home, I miss it so much. Like, for some reason, like that, I just think of Lillington. I think of like us being at Nana and Papa's house, eating those burgers off the grill with that slaw that you make, and then going over and watching the fireworks. I can taste 4th of July. It's just like that was always such a special time. And I think that was one of the, I mean, we always do Christmas. It's not that we wouldn't do other holidays, but July 4th was very specifically like Lillington based and going to Nana and Papa's. And you can't beat that slaw. You know it's great. I don't know that I've had any better. Tell him the secret.
Well, Trevor, we got a mandolin that you cut the slaw up with, and I don't like my slaw when you put it in a Cuisinart or something like that because it just chops it up too fine. So we cut it up on a mandolin, and Nancy usually does that. And then she puts it in a bowl, and I just take a regular hand chopper and chop the slaw up and get it the consistency that I want it. It's not too fine, but it still ain't got any big chunks in it. But you're eating slaw.
That's important. It's important because the mandolin it creates like elongated
little slivers.
But then, am I right in that you're taking one of those? Right. It's a round. It's got a handle, but then it's a round chopper.
That's right.
And then you're just you're shortening all those elongated slivers, And you have a lot of control over it when you're doing it manually.
That's correct. And then we always, and the one thing you need to recognize about making good coleslaw, you need to go somewhere that you know and pick out a good cabbage, because if it ain't a good cabbage, it ain't going to be good coleslaw.
How you pick out a good cabbage? I don't know.
Well, they still got them green leaves on them and got them in the grocery store. They do here anyway, where you can go get one. So after you do that, then I get apple cider vinegar, and Arkansas don't have this, but Duke's mayonnaise. But you just get some regular mayonnaise, and then get the sugar out, and then ever how much slaw you make, you kind of have to figure out what you need to make. But I usually make about 6 tablespoons of mayonnaise, put it in a bowl, and about 5, maybe 6 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and stir it up, get it stirred up good, mixed together good. And then I probably put like a quarter of a cup of sugar in it and stir that up good. And then when I get that marinated and to put on the slaw, before I put it on the slaw, I put some salt and pepper on the slaw. And I take a fork and stir it up good where it's all mixed up in the slaw, all that and everything. And then I take this sauce we just made with the vinegar and the mayonnaise and the sugar and pour it all over it and stir it up good and get it, and then put it in the refrigerator and let it get cool again. Because people even this past weekend said, "Good God, that's the best slaw I ever eat." And I said, "Well, that ain't the first time I ever heard that." I mean, we might.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, and it's got to be a little salty.
That's right.
Trevor, we done made you happy, boy.
Well, and I reckon, Trevor, I might would give out. You talked about the chili that went on the hot dogs. If you write back in one day, I might even give you the recipe for the chili to go on the hot dog. You can't have a taste.
Don't give them too much at once, Dad. They gotta keep coming back for more.
That's right. I'm just enticing them to think about sending me another email. That's right.
And my favorite hot dog, I'll give them this. You know what I'm about to say. My favorite hot dog is the one that we always had.
The
Jesse Jones.
Jesse Jones, them
pink ones, light pink, not
the red,
not the red ones. Not those deep dark red ones. The light pink Jesse Jones. That's the one I want sitting under my slaw.
Well, I used to, of course you ain't as old as I am, but I've eat all kind of hot dogs. I used to eat them bright leaf hot dogs all the time that's made over here at Smithfield.
I know people swear by the bright leaf. I don't get. It's not for me. It's not for me.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah. But I got another email from Braden, and Braden's got us something that he wants us to help him with, Lincoln. It says, "I've been working on planning my proposal to my high school sweetheart, Christina. We have been together for over 5 years, much of them being long distance with us at 2 different universities. For our engagement, she has told me that she wants our families to be there so we can all spend time together. I want them to be hidden in the moment so Christina has no idea that I'm proposing. How should I hide our family members out of sight until the perfect moment? And how should I signal them to show themselves?" Well, I'm going to try to help you with this a little bit, Braden, because about a year and a half ago, my sister's son, Lance, wanted to propose to Lauren at Christmas. And he wanted her mom and daddy to be there. So instead of having to hide somebody and do something, you need to kind of plan this around. maybe a birthday or Christmas when you got all kinds of other stuff going on, and then Christina won't know that you're going to drop down on a knee and ask her, and the people won't have to be hid. You won't have to worry about none of that, because it was great for Lance and Lauren, where when
I wasn't there. What, right? We were not.
I wasn't there either. They told Teresa told me about it.
Yeah, it was one of those Christmases that we weren't there. And how did he do it? I don't remember how they told me.
They were all sitting around and had been eating and everything, and I don't know, I think maybe they had already opened up presents and everything, where they were kind of trading back and forth, and Lance stood up, and Lauren was standing over somewhere and said, "Well, I guess you was kind of looking for something else for Christmas, were you?"
Oh.
And she kind of just nonchalantly, they said, just kind of nodded her head and everything. And he said, "Well, I got one more gift for you for Christmas." And he dropped down on one knee.
In front of everybody?
Right in front of everybody, and pulled a ring out. And I said, "Lauren, will you marry me?" So that was, it worked. Hey, it worked out good for Lance and Lauren, and everybody was there.
Mm-hmm.
But just to let, this is my aspect. That was all well and fine. That all mamas and daddies and everybody was there and got to see it and do all that. But that ain't my ball of wax, Brenda.
Oh.
No. Asking Christina or whoever you're going to ask to get married, to me, is a private thing. Just like when I proposed to Nancy, I was sitting down on the beach. It was about 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon. They want to sew around, and we were sitting in 2 little small chairs, and I pulled a ring out and asked her to marry me out there. Because, sometimes people don't always say yes.
Right. Yeah, people don't always say yes.
Yeah, they said,
you kind of want it to be a private affair when it's a no.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You're going to say no. Doing this. And besides that, Brandon, I have asked more than 3 people to get married.
Hold on. What? What?
So Nancy's my 4th time. So I've been practicing at it. So I asked your mama to marry me.
So have you asked more than 4 women to marry you?
Just 4.
Okay, so you are 4 for 4. I thought I was about to find out that you had been turned down by a 5th.
Oh no, I ain't.
Or a 6th.
No, I ain't never. Hey.
Was there ever, Dad, was there ever anybody else that you almost asked to marry you? At any point?
No.
What has anybody asked you to marry them at any point? You said no.
I did have a girl that asked me that run the Elks Club. She told me one day, she said, if you're looking for another wife, because as good as you are to women, and you give them this and give them that, and all this stuff going on, she said, I'll marry you and stay married to you for about 10 years, and then just go on about my business.
About 10 years?
I said, yeah. I said, well, Julie, I ain't ready to get married yet, but I appreciate the offer. I have to put that back in my.
She was willing to give you 10 years. She was willing to give you 1 decade. And then
she knew. Well, she
knew your track record.
Your mother, most of the time I'd been married 14 years. The other 2 times, so
okay.
I mean, that's more information y'all needed to know anyway.
No. We're here for all the information, Dad. So that was more of a nonchalant. I mean, she didn't have a ring or anything. She just had a timeline.
Yeah.
Charles, if I'll give you 10 years if you're up for it. Okay.
Yeah.
You weren't quite ready for it. I get it.
But no. So, Braden, you just gonna have to kind of, I don't know if you want to still try to hide them in a room and do it in private and see how it goes. But
I got an idea.
go ahead. That's somebody ought to have.
Well, you had two good ideas. I'm just going to add a third
Yeah.
one. If you want to do a beautiful outdoor proposal in private, all you got to do is, and I'm assuming there's 8 or less family members that you want to be there, and that'll be plenty depending on the size of tarp. Just throw a tarp over them. Just throw a tarp over them. And then whenever it's time, you just have a little air horn or just give them a signal or like any little thing. And then all of a sudden the tarp comes off. No place better to get proposed to than in the vicinity of a covered pile of junk that happens to be all your family. And how big of a tarp can you get? What's the biggest tarp you ever seen, Dad?
40 foot wide and 60 foot long.
Yeah, how many people you can fit onto that? 60 by 40 tarp.
A bunch of people.
Yeah, I mean, you might be able to get 18 people under that tarp.
Pretty easy. Yep.
That's it. And then you got to make sure they can breathe and make sure make sure everybody's all right. Put grandma in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
She's the tent pole.
Yep.
Problem solved. And then if they say no, just leave them under the tarp, go back and then call them on the phone and say, abort mission. You're welcome. That's the best we could do, Braden.
All right. Well, I got another email from Sarah. It says, help. I want to paint my bathroom a bright, cheerful color, but something that's not too overwhelming, especially while people are trying to powder their nose.
Oh, is this y'all look at this paint?
Y'all need to look at this paint. Okay, so Sarah, I'm going to give you a little bit of help. I got 2 colors right here.
Okay.
I forgot the name of them, Sarah, but let's see. But the one I like is called Butter Up.
Butter Up.
Butter Up. It's a nice pastel yellow color, and it comes from Sharon Williams.
So it's not overwhelming to powder their nose?
No, it's not overwhelming, and it'd be a nice color because yellow, I don't know what color is outside of your bathroom or if it'll flow with it or what it'll do or anything, but most of the time yellow, I'll go with most any color unless it's something that's really bright. So try to butter up and see how it works. And all you got to do is you can go online at Sharon Williams and just look it up and you can see the color and see if you like it or not. So
this is the most helpful episode we've had in a long time. We're giving out recipes. Whoo, man. We should charge for this kind of help.
that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah.
It would be. Not going to happen.
It's time for the Belch Life Bulletin. Well, how's the water in the ocean out in California? I mean, is it a
Are you
pretty
taunting
blue color?
me? You already told me how nice feeling your water is. Now you're trying to get me. I know what you're doing here. Yeah, my water sucks. It's too cold. To answer your question, it's a tad bit murky.
Well, Link, just to let you know, the last couple of weeks down here, and it's even made the newspaper down here in the Sun News, that the water down here is just a beautiful blue coral color. I mean, it's beautiful.
Wow. Yeah, they're talking about it in the news. Did you notice this phenomenon before you were reading about it in the news, or are you too glazed over out there?
No, I saw it. We went down to the beach a week or so ago, and I mean, it was beautiful.
I mean, that is tropical. What's the reason? Do they know why? Because all the years that you've lived there or been going down there for the summer, Have you ever seen it this blue?
I've seen it blue like this before, and it's got a lot because when you don't have storms and it gets hot here,
Yeah.
and when it's doing and you don't have storms, that sediment, just like your water, you got sediment in the water,
Right.
and it's not getting stirred up with the sand, so it's floating down at the bottom, and it lets the water be the natural color that it really is when it hadn't got a hurricane coming up through there or something like that. This is just I think that's the reason it is.
So you didn't actually read the article, you just looked at the picture?
Oh no, I read the article down here from the Sun-Times. It got a little blurb down here. It says, beachgoers have taken to social media showing what they believe to be exceptionally clear and blue water in Myrtle Beach this 4th of July weekend. It was like an emerald blue, and you could pretty much see the bottom in like 4 foot of water, said Phil Jackson, owner of Good Vibe Surf Shop.
Is that what Phil Jackson is up to now? He's not coaching
I don't think that's
Bulls?
I don't think. And it says in a phone interview, Jackson noticed clearer than usual water 2 weeks ago, that the majority of TikTok videos were from this weekend. 2 days ago, TikTok user Kayla Brown shared the view of the beach from a hotel. Brown's 3 videos on Myrtle Beach waters have almost 2 million views combined.
Wow.
Another TikTok
going viral.
Another TikTok with almost 500,000 views showed the Grand Strand water.
Let's see it.
Been here 50 times and never seen it like this.
Listen, I promise to you this is Dirty Myrtle. It just ain't dirty no more. Like,
Dirty Myrtle ain't dirty no more. I like that.
That was pretty neat.
So you been out in this undirty Myrtle water?
Yeah, I've been out in it, and you could walk right out. And,
can't be naked.
Like they
can
said, 3 or 4 foot, and be out and still see your feet down in the bottom of it.
Is it the type of thing that because you go into the water out there to pee? Don't
That
lie.
would be correct.
Yep, I know. So now people can see that's what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Right? You ever dropped a deuce in the water, Dad?
No.
Don't lie. It's hard. It's hard to do. I have attempted.
No, I ain't. I'm not going to attempt it. If I got to do that, I'm going somewhere else.
Sometimes you just gotta give it a shot.
Yeah, I understand that.
I'm glad you understand it. And you know what? And me and all the Myrtle Beasts will understand it when you share the next time you have to do that. We're here for you.
I hear you. Well, I'm glad they're going to be here for me, but I'm not going to be dropping no deuce.
They're going to be filming a TikTok from the top of the condo. Charles Neal from Dispatches from Myrtle Beach dropping a deuce in the clearest water in a decade. I was like, he's creating little buddies that are following him. Bloop, 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 bloop. I feel like you have really taken me to Myrtle Beach this week, Dad. I've been in the garden. I've been in the water. Where else have I been? I've been under a tarp with some family that I've never met. It's like, when are they going to show up? What time did they say they were going to be here? I'm going to call. Don't call them. If you call them, then it's going to spoil the surprise. Be quiet. They might be quiet. Stop talking. They could be coming up any minute. Shh. Don't spoil the surprise. Should we practice? Congratulations! Put the tarp back on you. It's like, come up any second. Stop me anytime, Dad.
Well, that's enough. I think Brandon done figured out how he's going to have to handle that himself.
He's not even here anymore. He's out buying a tarp.
Yeah. Well, Link, it looks like we've done another episode of Dispatches from Myrtle Beach, and it was
does.
fun having you all here with us today. Join us in the next couple of weeks for another. Join us for next week for another mini dispatch.
Oh, yeah.
If you got a joke, question, or comment you'd like to share with me, email me at ratherbeshagging53@aol.com. So have a great weekend, and we can't wait to spin your world again, and we'll see what we can get into next week, Link. So it was good talking to you.
You too, Dad. As always. Love ya.
Love you too.